Greetings, everyone. I hope you're fine. I hope you are doing well. Mr. Gayton McKenzie is ready to be called the AzzLicker of Donald Trump. These are his words.
Faso can't tell us what to do here. They can't ask us questions because there's absolutely nothing they give us. America is giving us billions and billions and billions. Now, if somebody gives you billions and they have something they're unhappy about, it is your right to tell them, no, you are wrong. America is wrong in the assessment. But we mustn't say America must go to hell. I'm a leader. If America leaves, people are going to lose their jobs. People are going to die.
When it comes to this one, I would like to differ with Gayton McKenzie. Slightly differ, or maybe entirely differ. I don't know how to put it, but I just want to say I would like to differ with Gayton McKenzie when it comes to this one, especially when it comes to Burkina Faso, because he's like, Burkina Faso is not giving us anything. But I just want to say Burkina Faso is giving us something. What is it that Burkina Faso is giving us? Burkina Faso is showing us that Africa can be independent. Africa can do everything by itself. And these guys have receipts. Ibrahim Traore has receipts because within a short period of time, which is 2 years, in other words, he has accomplished 70 to 80% of the things he has promised to the people of Burkina Faso. So this is a sign that Burkina Faso is giving us something, not only South Africa, but all the countries in Africa. Burkina Faso is like, you can become like us and do everything by yourselves and begin to be independent. But I understand something here. In other words, the mind of a puppet is completely different to the mind of someone who is aware that is being manipulated. For an example, someone who is worshiping the image of white Jesus is thinking different from the one who is questioning that particular image. So in other words, they cannot coexist. Why? Because the other one is worshiping the image, is into the image, but the other one is questioning the image. So that is why it's not easy for Burkina Faso to have like that relationship with countries like South Africa and many others that are led by puppets. Why? Because their strategies are completely different. So same applies with these other countries. So that is why you can't hear them, for an example, talking about Ibrahim Traore, what Ibrahim Traore is doing. Even their media, you can't hear their media talking about Burkina Faso, what Burkina Faso is doing, because whenever they talk about Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, they always want to focus on the negative side. So these people can't coexist. Why? Because their minds are completely different. So if you have the mindset of bowing down to someone who is manipulating you, there's someone who has the mindset of not bowing down because he's aware that we are being manipulated. So the second thing, again, that I would like to talk about is unemployment. So South Africa has been experiencing the rise of unemployment while America was still around. So it's not a new thing. So America and South Africa have been friends for a long period of time. But unemployment here in South Africa is continuing to rise. That is why even Donald Trump himself is questioning the leaders of Africa. How are they doing things? Why are they oppressing their people? Yes, he might have said some of the things that are wrong, but he has also said some of the things that are correct to say, what are you doing? Why are you oppressing your people? So in other words, Gayton McKenzie, he should question their leaders or GNU. What are they doing to use their resources to empower themselves so that they can copy what Burkina Faso is doing. Maybe if you say we don't like the leadership style of Burkina Faso, but you can also copy their method when it comes to business, when it comes to doing things by themselves.
You mustn't say America must go to hell. I'm a leader. If America leaves, people are going to lose their jobs. People are going to die. At the moment, there's doctors that don't even have jobs. At the moment. If we lose PEPFAR, you see, I'm not those politicians that say things that people want to hear. We can't afford to lose PEPFAR. We can't afford to lose AGOA. We have the highest unemployment rate in the world. Now I must come here and say Trump must go to hell. What about the people? Who's going to give them jobs? Who's going to? We must get our ducks in a row first. We've got minerals, we've got gas. Once we have that, you see, a leader must not be emotional.
Yes, a leader must not be emotional. But at the same time, it is very important to be aware whenever you are being manipulated, because we have to understand that America is doing this because of Israel. Now they are confusing South Africa because of South Africa's stance on Israel's matter. So they didn't like it. They didn't like it because Donald Trump is the friend of that leader of Israel. So they didn't like what South Africa did with regards to this whole matter. A leader should not be emotional, but it is very important to do things by yourself. In other words, you have to value what you have. You have to value your minerals. You have to value your skill, how you do business. You have to value all those things. But if you don't value them, other people will take advantage of you. That is why right now, as we speak, South Africa has put its minerals upon the hands of other people, especially Western people. So they are in charge of everything. They are creating jobs using our minerals. They are creating jobs using our land. They are creating jobs using our skill. In other words, they are creating jobs using South Africa. In other words, they are creating jobs here in South Africa. So you can't tell me that we cannot do that by ourselves. This is what the leader of Burkina Faso is doing. They are doing everything by themselves. And so far, we have seen a progress. And again, at the same time, you cannot say you are for black people. In other words, you want to give justice to black people and still bow down to the puppet masters or the slave masters. You can't do that. In other words, you cannot serve two masters at the same time. So that is why my perception is that everybody, when it comes to these leaders, or most of these leaders are just puppets. It's just that maybe some of them won't reveal themselves at certain points, but they will reveal themselves at certain points that they are really puppets. So you can tell that if you are ready to be the AzzLicker of Donald Trump, you are mostly a puppet. You are mostly a puppet, and you are ready to become a puppet. You are ready to serve. But what I like is that the likes of Donald Trump, they are aware that these guys are puppets. And again, Donald Trump is not even interested in these puppets, even if they are bowing down.
Positive people, because we depend on 25% of our HIV/AIDS budget is from PEPFAR.
Now, let's talk about HIV/AIDS. When it comes to Africa here, we have a problem of diseases, and the diseases that we didn't even create. We have all these problems of the diseases, but we still expect the West to give us solutions when it comes to the very same diseases that Africa didn't create. It's impossible. So in other words, if you want to deal with these diseases, or so-called incurable diseases, the most important thing is that you have to try by all means to come up with solutions by yourselves. Have you given all people from South Africa a chance to come with a solution? Have you given them a chance to express themselves or to sell themselves or to tell us what can they do with all these problems that we are having, especially when it comes to diseases? Have you given them a chance? Absolutely, absolutely not, because now we want to rely on other countries. There's absolutely nothing wrong by relying on other countries, but at the same time, you have to try by all means to make your own research. Try by all means to come up with your own solution, so that the moment you discover a cure, the moment you discover a solution, then you can say, okay, we no longer need your aid. But what has South Africa done for all these years? For all these years, knowing very well that they have a problem of tuberculosis, they have a problem of cancer, they have a problem of HIV and AIDS and all these diseases. What have they done? So all along, they've been bowing down or relying on these countries. So Gayton McKenzie, he has to question all these health ministers. He has to question the cabinet of ANC. He has to question, what have you been doing to come up with your solution? So now Donald Trump is like, you know what? I can sanction you. Now they want to wake up. They want to act emotional, even though they are like, a leader should not be emotional.
AGUA is giving hundreds and thousands of people jobs, particularly in the Western. They must now try to be popular here. They can call me an AzzLicker of America. I will be an AzzLicker to save people's lives, to save people's jobs. Want ek bysa nie.
I like the fact that countries like Burkina Faso are not ready to bow down to these countries, the colonialists, because they've programmed us to rely on them, to think that we can't do anything by ourselves, to the point whereby we reject any innovation that comes amongst us. We reject everything, because right now, as we speak, I can tell you that there are many people who can solve the problems that we have from Africa. But we are quick to say we cannot. Why? Because we have been programmed. That is why I would like to repeat this, that someone who is worshiping the image of white Jesus and someone who is questioning the image can't think the same.